Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Legacy Soundwave, which is basically just a re-release of Siege Soundwave. So yeah, pretty unexpected. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people were actually expecting this to be the Prime version of Soundwave, just due to the fact that the leak said PR Soundwave. I mean, yeah, I kind of hoped that it was going to be Prime Soundwave as well, but oh well. I mean, when this was first shown, everyone then said that they wanted the Netflix version of Soundwave to be re-released, and I think Hasbro did explain why they didn't re-release that version, but yeah. But well, taking a quick look at the packaging. Of course, this is the Legacy re-release, so we've got the Legacy style packaging. So, you've got a picture of Soundwave's vehicle mode. Yeah, to this day I still don't know what this is meant to be. Of course, we've got the windowless packaging. Got a picture of Soundwave in his robot mode. Close up of his face. This side we've got some Decepticons. The back, we have them in both modes. The QR code if you want to scan that. And that's pretty much it for the box. And well, taking a look at the figure, as I have said, this is pretty much a re-release of Siege Soundwave, although, if I turn around, they have actually removed the battle damage. Yeah, in the Siege release, the tape door was all scratched up, and with this Legacy version, they've gone ahead and removed all that. So, yeah. They did the same thing with the re-release of Galvatron, where they went ahead and removed battle damage. So I'm not sure if this is like a cheeky marketing decision where they release a version with battle damage first and then release a version without to make you want that one more. I don't know. Well, let's just take a look at the vehicle mode first. Now, unfortunately, my one, this sort of tilts up. If anything, this could just be my incompetence, because I have mistransformed figures in the past, so this could just be me being an idiot. But, seeing how I'm not really sure how to get this down without breaking it, without potentially breaking a tab, you're just going to have to live with this for the video, so sorry. Well, taking a look at the front, got these little details which could be speakers, and seeing how it is a fan mode, boombox mode for this, which I don't think I'm going to show, sorry, it's just because I kind of want to just go through this video quickly. Yeah, sorry about that. But for the boombox mode, well, the fan mode, these would be the speakers that people use. Although for this Cybertronian mode, I'm not sure what these would even be. Like little headlights, space, blasters, I don't know. We've got the top bit. Got a little windshield. Even though, seeing how this is a Cybertronian vehicle, no one's going to be piloting him. But we do have some really nice detailing here. Like, seriously, this is really well detailed. Got these little pylons here at the side. And we do have these little thrusters at the back, and, well, seeing how this is a re-release of the Siege figure, it makes sense that these would be blast effect compatible. Although I pretty much just made myself sound stupid there, so feel free to laugh at me. Look, I've never had this figure before, so it is a learning experience. It's just that I've had figures before where the thrusters are in fact compatible, so it would make sense if these were. But yeah, I just feel completely stupid now, but oh well, that's more on me. Well, moving on. Got some more detailing here on the sides. These little bits, which could be like little landing gears, maybe. Of course, these are just the arms. And the back, of course, we have the little tape door. Although, seeing how this is meant to be like some sort of Cybertronian spaceship, this could be repurposed as like a little door that you go into. Like, this could open, someone could like walk in, and that's how you get into the little cockpit section here. I mean, it's an idea, although we all know this is just meant to be the tape deck function for robot mode. So, yeah. Now, for the accessories, well, of course, we have his famous battery weapons. And these can plug onto these little bits here. So something like that going on. And you also get this little gun weapon. This was also on Netflix Soundwave. And why he has this, I don't know. Although if you have the Siege Megatron mold, then, well, you can replicate the little, and my throat's just gone. But, well, you can replicate the little back gun barrel that Megatron has. So there is a use for it if you have Siege Megatron. So, yeah. But the storage, this could plug into the side here via a tab. And that just plugs in like so. So, yeah. And now, for vehicle mode comparisons, here he is with Netflix Soundwave. So you can see how he, well, if I just turn around this battery first, so we can see how he goes from this spaceship to a freaking rectangle. And why not? Let's throw in Blaster as well, because not only is Blaster also every release, but this means that in the same toy line, Blaster is still a radio, but now Soundwave is back to being a space whatever. This is sort of making me want to a new figure of full Cybertron Soundwave / Blaster. I mean, we are getting leaks of War for Cybertron, Bumblebee, and Barricade, so this could be the game characters, so who knows? But well, getting onto the transformation. So, taking off the weapons, which I did off camera, the transformation is actually quite dynamic. I mean, the vehicle mode itself is quite dynamic, but I mean, seriously, of course this is the chest, of course these are the arms, these are the legs, but the way that it transforms is kind of cool. So to start, just tilt your camera up. This part is of course optional, but to start the actual transformation, I'm just going to take these little pylon sections, just move them there. Flip these little sections up. Split these. Flip these out the way. Untab this section. Just move the torso into place like so. Move these little flaps down. Split the legs. Turn them around. To be careful because this could just be my copy, but it's rather easy to amputate him. Now, of course, this could just be my copy, but still. Open up the backs of the legs, get the feet out, pushing these bits. So the legs all done. Flip up the arms, and this one's not tabbing in. There we go. Get those down. Flip around the fists. There we go. Feel like a slight click there. Get all this down. Flip around the head. There we go, this becomes a small backpack. Then these flip around to the back like so. And there you have Soundwave in robot mode. So yeah. And if you're used to the Siege figure with all the scratch marks, this might be a bit weird to you. Because remember, the Siege figure had the smashed up taped screen, the scuffs on the legs, the little scuffs on the arms, whereas this is completely clean, and it's making me wonder what the other Siege figures would look like without the scratch marks, like what Siege Starscream would look like without the little scuff on his wings. But while having a 360 of this figure, I mean, he's got a translucent rear end, but okay. But we can see that those little thrusters now form a backpack. So he's got. So I guess he can attack by just doing this. Okay. But well, taking a look at the head. Well, for one, his visor is yellow, so it's like the original figure. But well, I don't know if you can see that, but light piping. Now that's really nice. Now, giving him his accessories. So, of course, we can just plug this into his shoulder. Just extend this out. I could just plug into his hand. And I guess this little shotgun can just... Well, it could be a shotgun or it could be a pistol, depends on if it's extended or not. This can just go into his other hand. And well, as for compatibility, well, this is a Siege figure, so of course And in fact, they actually do have something in the instructions that you can do. So you just extend this out. Or maybe you just plug that into there. Plug that into there. And now you've got this long, I guess, bazooka gun weapon. Of course, Soundwave never used this in any form of media. It was just the effect of the siege weapon gimmick that Legacy's sort of bringing back. So maybe that's why this figure is in Legacy, because of the gun gimmick being sort of similar. Of course, I'm having trouble on camera, because when you're on camera, that's when bad luck immediately ramps up to 11. Swear I'm gonna break a peg here by accident. There we go. So if you want to post Soundwave like this, then go ahead, although why would you? Yeah, this looks weird. Yeah, it's not really worth the hassle, in my opinion. But yeah. Now, of course, if you have Siege Megatron, as I showed earlier, you can use this little gun, and Soundwave just fell off the table. Nice. But you can use this as a little bat cannon for Megatron, just like what he had in the G1 cartoon. And that's what I do with Netflix Soundwave's gun. So yeah, that's what I do with my Netflix spoiler pack Megatron, because I don't have a Siege Megatron, and well, the Earthrise Megatron sort of retooled the tread area, so it doesn't really look as good. So this is the best Megatron I have, because the other ones I have a Combat Megatron, which, well, the OG didn't even have one, and Shattered Glass Megatron, which, of course, is based on a Megatron which it didn't have one to begin with as well. So yeah. But quick tangent over. Yeah, if you don't really want to use this for a Soundwave, you can just give this to a generic Decepticon if you want. I don't know, give it to Refractor or something, I don't know. But I'm just gonna give this to Soundwave, because maybe it was like something he used back on... Maybe this was a gun he used back on Cybertron, but he lost it when the Arc crashed or something. I don't know, just fun head cannons. But well, for comparisons, here he is with Netflix Soundwave, and of course these are the same molds, just this one's heavily retooled. So you can see this is pretty much like toy Soundwave. This is a cartoon Soundwave, and you can see how much they heavily retooled this figure. Well, they still kept the little things on the arms, weirdly enough. And here he is with Blaster. Keep in mind, these are both from the Legacy toy line, and these are both re-releases of previous figures from War for Cybertron trilogy, so yeah. Now, for cassette compatibility, well, of course, this figure didn't come with any, but if you have any of the Micromaster cassettes, or even Eject, or the upcoming Studio Series Rumble figure, yes, they did say Rumble. I'm not going to start the whole debate, but you can just fit one of the cassettes in here, and depending on what cassette you have, it'll either fit really nicely, like with Laserbeak here, or it's going to be a complete pain in the afterburner, like with Ravage, and he's proving me wrong. But usually, Ravage is quite difficult to work with. Although, of course, on camera, he's proving me wrong. And of course, it's not just limited to Soundwave cassettes. Of course, you can also use eject. And now things can get jammed. Seeing how this is a mold that's not intended to go with Soundwave. And seeing how eject is also translucent plastic, I would recommend being careful. So yeah. Now, finally, for articulation, let's just remove his weaponry for this, including this, because we also need to show off the head articulation. Head is on a ball joint, so he can look side to side. He can look up, he can look down, he can tilt his head. So yeah. Arms can move fully as well, there's no hindrance. You can T-pose. Just can, of course, swivel, and it's on a slight click if you can hear that. It's got really good elbow joint, like that's really good. Most figures are just limited to 90 degrees, but this guy, double elbow joint, that's really good. Hands go in for the transformation if you want. This can deploy for a little stabby fan mode. The Netflix version can also do that. Waist can turn, although this just for posability and not our transformation, unlike the Siege version. Not Siege, Netflix version, sorry. These little flaps can move up to accommodate for the legs, so they can go forward that far, back that far. Just splits. Oh, forgot to show. It's got good knees. Just can swivel, although be careful not to take it off the mushroom joint. Ankle pivot about that far. So yeah. Quite posable. And of course, this was Siege, and Siege was trying to set up a standard for posability. And I quite liked how posable modern figures are. Well, Siege onwards. Well, actually, no, not Studio Series onwards, because I think the early Studio Series figures didn't really have much of the... Like, Studio Series before Siege was kind of... You know what, let's not go off on it. Let's not start on another tangent, because... Yeah, like, posability on figures after Siege definitely improved in my opinion, especially with the inclusion of like ankle pivots. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this guy. Complaints, and keep in mind this is also for the Siege version of the figure. The Siege version has those weird smudge marks. I mean, they can be distracting. Oop, accidentally kicked the table. But yeah, the Siege version does have those weird smudge marks, but of course the Legacy release does remove them, so you do have this version if you don't want those weird battle damage marks. So that is one flaw that is sort of fixed. I guess another flaw could be that weird vehicle mode. It's not everyone's cup of tea, if you will. Me personally, I kind of like it. I just think, like, not every Soundwave should be a rectangle. So I quite like it. I just think I think it's a unique twist on Soundwave. So even if you don't like it, I just think it's cool. So even though it's not a flaw for me, it's still a flaw for some other people. Although a flaw I do have is on my copy, if you remember, it did sort of tilt upwards. Could be it could be me not transforming it correctly or something, but yeah. Now one major flaw, and this is just with like some particular figures. I remember seeing like a particular figure. I think it was on Reddit. It had like mold growing on the back of the figure. I mean, of course, that's just on some figures, but still. And that was on the Legacy version too, so. But, yeah, let's just move on because I'm just getting disgusted thinking about that. Well, I recommend the Siege or Legacy version of this figure? Well, considering we do have Netflix Soundwave now, although, of course, Netflix Soundwave, as of the time of recording, is like, what? God knows how much money right now. This figure can also yellow to absolute hell. I've seen some copies where the joints are actual yellow now. So, yeah. Even though Netflix Soundwave is more due and accurate, it's also more expensive. It can yellow. So, yeah. If you're more on a budget, then the Siege figure, I would argue, is sort of the better option. Plus, with the Legacy version's lack of battle damage, if you're just going for a robot mode display, I'd say this is sort of the better option. But that is just my opinion. So yeah, if you're not willing to spend God knows how much on a Netflix Soundwave, then yeah, the Siege, or in this case the Legacy version, isn't. God damn it, I just ran out of breath there. But if you're not willing to spend God knows how much on the Netflix Soundwave, then the Siege, or well now the Legacy version of Soundwave, is actually a nice figure to get. I mean, sure, the vehicle mode might not be the best for some people, but if you don't mind the vehicle mode, then yeah, this is a really nice figure. And in fact, this isn't the last Soundwave that's going to be in Legacy, because uh, uh, the Kingdom Core class Soundwave is going to be in Legacy soon. So yeah, but well, this has been my review on Legacy / Siege Soundwave, and this is Charlie Young signing off.